All right, we're live at the 10-minute live spark. And if you missed last week, that's great. It's on the record button. And today, though, we have a special guest with us. Let's meet Erica, the classroom curiosity catalyst who turns everyday learning into extraordinary adventures. She has a true passion for transforming educational spaces, and she's helped a lot of educators create learning environments where curiosity thrives and students can't wait to discover what's next. She's also a featured speaker at our prestigious Spark Curiosity Conference. She also is known for professional development on rigor and relevant instruction that keeps both teachers and students genuinely engaged. And she got a new book out on the reading comprehension system, and it's making waves, turning reluctant readers into enthusiastic knowledge seekers. So she got the secret sauce for igniting spark. So we're so happy that she's here with us today, and we're going to just turn it over, and we're going to start off with one simple question. I always like to start off with this question because sometimes in order for us to unlearn, we need to figure out what we're doing. And one question I had is, based on your observations, what do you feel is one thing the classrooms are doing to kind of stifle curiosity?
Listen, this answer is going to be kind of cliche, but it's my answer because I see it almost every day whenever I'm in a school, no matter where it is. One of the things that stifles curiosity is the lack of connection with the people in front of you. It's hard to spark curiosity with someone you don't know. How can I ask you questions when I don't even know what interests you or what angle to even approach you with? So yes, our curriculums can be boring. Yes, they can be scripted, but I can get around the script if I know who I'm talking to.
That is powerful. And actually, I concur with all of that because a lot of times, because we don't know the backgrounds of our students or we don't take the time to know it, we just use the textbook, the lesson don't stick. It just don't stick because it's not relevant. And it's kind of like with us too. We could be training teachers, and I'm in an urban setting, but I'm talking about farmland, and I'm talking about no disciplinary problems, and I'm people looking at who is she talking to, and then people start to tune out. Okay,
Right.
so let's flip it now. So that's one of the things you observe, and so how do we flip that? How can we intentionally foster curiosity, seeing that you just told us what we're doing wrong? How can we do it right?
So I'm not even gonna say we're doing it wrong. I don't think we're doing it unconsciously. We think that because we're the teacher in the room and we present information, kids are gonna automatically want the information. So we make a lot of assumptions, right? We make a lot of assumptions that number one, our kids don't want to learn. Number two, that if we give them the information, the kids will automatically learn it. And then number three, we make the assumption that just because we're the teacher in front of the room and we know our kid's name, we know the kids in front of us. And so some things that we have to do differently as educators is number one, we have to get to know our students beyond being the students in our classroom. So what do I mean by that? What interests our students, right? Just because a young man comes in our classroom and he's extremely tall and he looks athletic, that doesn't mean he's interested in basketball. He could love to play the violin, but unless we get to know him, we would make certain assumptions. And so we have to be very intentional about our daily interactions with our students, and allowing them to have interactions with each other, because the student-student relationship is just as important as the teacher-student relationship. Because I don't know, my curiosity may seem weird to my classmates, and if I'm not in a safe space, I'm not going to let you really know too much about me, because I'm not sure how the people around me will accept who I am at my core. right? So we have to take some intentional moments to build those relationships so we can get to know our students. That's number one. Number two, we have to recognize our instruction is not about us. We as educators will plan activities because we think they're fun and we think they're great, and then they fall flat to the audience because it's not about our learning. I've been in classrooms where a teacher has taught the oh God, what's the book that we read in the night? The oh, To Kill a Mockingbird. And they
Yes.
taught this book for years after year after year, and they know the themes inside of that book inside out. And because they know it, they're excited, but they have done nothing to pique the curiosity and the relevance of the themes of the book with the students. And it's for two things. One, they don't know their students. And number two, they forget that they have to ask questions that pique curiosity. I can't ask a lot of closed ended yes, no, did you find that information? Maybe so type of questions in the classroom and make students go, but if I can ask a question that is rooted in our content, but it is parallel to what is happening in kids' life today, that might make me want to learn a little bit more, right? Um, listen, this is my jam. So my last thing I'm gonna say, because I know we only have 10 minutes. So one of the
Yes.
last things I'm gonna say is we also need to balance what we give and what we allow our kids to discover. Sometimes we give our kids so much information, there's no motivation to find out anything more because I can figure it out based off of what you've already told me, versus you give me just enough to make me hungry, to make me want to search and learn more. So we have to find a balance of giving information and allowing our students the opportunity to discover information.
Ashe, ashe, ashe. Okay. All I'm doing is, as you was talking, the relationship. How do I find out about my kids? Micro inquiry. I'm going back to my core because micro inquiry gets kids working together. So, for example, I'm about to introduce a book on and maybe it's complex, but maybe the core book is about friendship.
Hmm.
So I'm going to open it with an inquiry task. I want you to think of three qualities you would look for in a good friend. Bam. If I didn't know anything about my kids, I'm about to find out things about them and
Yep.
how do they make judgment calls. And then we're going to make a quick summary. These are some key qualities that students are looking for in a friend. I wonder what this book is going to tell us about friendship because we should have criteria when we have friends.
Yep.
And then that second part, they're exploring this before we talk about the book. They're letting us know what they think before you get into. So that's just a little nip. This little we sprinkling over here. That's why this the 10-minute spark. Okay,
Right.
we sprinkling some good things that's going to be coming up at the Spark Curiosity EDU conference. And I don't mean to tap myself on the shoulder, but I am really really impressed with what yourself and some other team members, we've come up with this phenomenal program that is going to speak to all of those things you just spoke about, but
Yeah.
not just speak to them, like give you practical, implementable. I just made me a word, implementable. See, this is what I do at the car. I just be making up some word, implementable. Okay, so if you didn't know what that word was, we want you to implement this stuff, okay? And we don't want you to be waiting and like trying to figure it out. The key part is to see yourself doing it. And I promise you, if you invest in this 2-day event, you're going to see yourself doing this and you're going to see that small shifts make huge impacts. So, oh my goodness, our time is almost up, girl. I want to play another clip that's gonna be at the conference. This one's called Little Wonders. And before I just play, I just want to say I want to just read the little lyrics. I was inspired by my neo soul girl, India Irie, and I was like, we need more little wonders in the classroom. So the first little stanza, been around the fancy schools, still Ain't seen nothing like a child's why. Out of all the textbooks and tests, that spark in their eyes feels so right. So let's just play a little bit and we're gonna roll out like that. Boy, this time went by fast because Erica,
Yes.
you had a lot of good stuff though. You had a lot of good stuff, but I hope somebody got a spark. Somebody got a spark today, you know. And this don't really count because this is just a chill part. I'll play it a little louder.
Ain't nothing in the whole wide world like the questions that break through and the joy they bring. Simple as a raised hand just to make it known that you're wondering about the stars. Pure as the moment when a student's face lights up with their first.
This is a great song to set the mood for learning. Okay.
Yes. You gonna wait till the chorus come. Just 1 second, then I'm gonna stop it.
In the quest for high scores, don't forget about the simple things. Give me
Give me
some
some
good
good
questions.
questions. Give me some deep thoughts.
Give me some
I want.
wondering.
Give me some what if.
Give me some bright eyes. Running round in circles.
All right. Well, the whole song is gonna be at the conference. It's coming out with the Unleashing Curiosity book, but we got some good stuff, and I promise you, the teachers who listen to get instructions from not just myself, but the Miss Battle herself, and get them songs. We're about to brainwash ourselves and bring some joy back. We ain't gonna be burnt out after this. I
That's
promise you. I promise you. So thank you so much, Erica. It's been a pleasure as well as a privilege to be with you today, and we'll see you at the next 10-minute spark next Wednesday.